Where do you want to start?
So if you follow us, you've probably been wondering where we have been. We've had a lot going on in our personal lives, and we're traditionally not the type of people to really let people in on what's going on. We're really private people by nature. I mean, even with the whole YouTube channel, it's a stretch for us to share our life, but it's important for us, and we really want to share our adventures and document everything for our friends, family, people who find it interesting. It's hard to film things and videos when you have a lot on your mind and you may have things going on that in the background that people don't know about. So after Brad and I's Yellowstone excursion, we were visiting some family, and someone very close to me and my family has been dealing with addiction for quite some time now, but it had gotten quite worse. And while I was visiting them, they had overdosed and almost died. And if it wasn't for me and my other family that saved their life, they wouldn't be here today. And that was really hard because the next day we were supposed to put out a video. And we did. We put out our Yellowstone video that next day because we had already filmed it the week prior. So going through all that really just took a toll on Brad and I, and it was a pretty traumatizing experience and a hurtful one. But it was important for us to stay with family and, continue on. So about a week later, after staying with family, we decided that, we should continue to do our adventures. So we started to go through southern Utah, and the first day in
Squirrel.
So we decided, it's important for us to continue on. We still really wanted to continue traveling, and that person was safe and they were alive.
Chose rehab.
Yeah, they chose rehab, which was a big step because last time they didn't, so this is a big step. So we felt good leaving my family and just heading down to southern Utah, so that's what we did. We arrived in Arches, and as soon as we got to the visitor center, Brad got a call.
Got a call from my mom saying that my dad was in the hospital with COVID, and she didn't really know much more than that. We spent some time in the parking lot debating on whether or not to continue. At that point, we were just kind of drained with everything that happened before, and not really in the mood. But we chose, because we have the channel and because we've obligated ourselves to put out a video every week, we decided to push on and continue. We weren't very interactive with the camera. It was beautiful, but our heads just weren't in it. The next day we went to Canyonlands and tried to enjoy that as well. Didn't hear many updates. And then after that, we found some public land to post up on for Shyla's work week. And the next day, I got a couple phone calls from my dad's nurse and his boss and my mom again, and all telling me that he's getting worse and that I would be appointed the decision maker in the event that he couldn't make his own decisions anymore. I never expected that to happen, but as the day progressed, the situation just got worse, and so right then and there, we decided to pack up and drive the 15 hours home. So we drove all night from Moab to California and got here at like 5 in the morning or something. The next day, they told us that his condition was inevitable and that me and my sister should probably make a trip up to the hospital to see him, even though he's in the COVID ward, they would make an exception. So we got dressed up in our hazmat suits and went and talked to him as best as we could. He had a respirator face mask on, so it was very difficult to understand him. And shortly after we got there, they gave him morphine to relax him, and he fell asleep. So we said what we thought we needed to say. We weren't sure if that was the last time we were going to see him. Said our goodbyes. And overnight he passed away from COVID and COVID pneumonia. The doctor said he wasn't unhealthy and he didn't have any pre-existing conditions. It was just happened. So since then we've been here in Reading trying to get a handle on the estate, which is why we have taken a break from filming, from posting, from all that stuff. We just couldn't find the energy to record anything or post a photo on Instagram. So that's why we've been inactive, and that's why we will probably be inactive moving forward for a little while we are out of the van and taking care of all of this. As much as we don't want to share this and had no intention of sharing this, we do think it's important for you guys to know, as we're sharing our story, that, you know, this is our journey right now, and, you know, van life isn't always everything it's cracked up to be, because, you know, sometimes you're states away and you have to drop everything you're doing to go visit family.
The process that Brad and his sibling has to go through because of all this will take some time. Months to a year, most likely a year at least. So right now we're just, you know, we got a few things here to take care of. We still, you know, we're still keeping the van. We still plan on doing van life. We just don't know in what context. But, you know, we still plan on going on trips as much as we can and taking you guys along. Brad's dad was a huge supporter of our channel, so it's really important, and that's also why we kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, I guess, talk about this. Because this is reality, and it's not always filters and editing and this beautiful, like, life. Sometimes there's serious hurtful things that happen, but it's really important to, you know, tell your loved ones you love them and be around people that encourage you and love you and are there for you. And so we hope that with us doing this, you guys, you know, understand a little bit more about us, and hopefully, you know, you see that you're not alone when you're going through struggles or something like this.
Hopefully you stick with us through this transition. We don't know what the content's going to look like moving forward. We don't know when we're going to be back in the van. We don't really know much right now other than just playing the waiting game and getting things organized. My dad was a big supporter of this channel. He liked all of our videos and commented on a few of the earlier ones, and he was really interested in what we were doing.
He loved outdoors, he loved camping, he loved, like, I think that his dream would have been to get a Jeep and overland. He was a really good guy. And so we want to honor him in whatever way we can. We know that van life, he was super into it, like Brad said, and when we were building the van in California, you know, the few times that we had to come back here to build, you know, he'd always stop by and check it out, so I think it'll be a good adventure, and I think he would really like us to continue van life. I think that's really important. So part of that is, you know, talking about this with you guys, letting you know what's going on. And We appreciate all the love and support. We hope that you can continue to give us that through this transitional period. But we do have a new face. We do have a new member of our family. Another big announcement.
We do. So this is my dad's dog, Chief. He's a golden yellow lab.
Oh, we need that. That's a microphone. And yes, he's a yellow lab. And he is like 10 months old. He's not even a year. And he's like over 100 pounds. Very high energy. So there was, a lot of discussion about what we should do, or, what the family wanted to do with Chief. But, with Chief being around Brad for even just a few hours, you could tell that Chief loves Brad. And we decided, he would be a perfect adventure dog.
Hey, you look at the camera. Okay. Well, you'll get to know it. Chief, nope, leave it. He's a bit unruly still, but he's learning, and he's a smart dog. And we think he'll be perfect to come on adventures with us. And now we have a hiking dog, whereas our little dogs are not much of hiking dogs. So you'll see more of him in the coming videos. He's quickly become a part of this family, and we want him to stay in the family. He is my dad's pride and joy, so he's going to be ours as well.
Yep.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, so we honestly don't know when the next video is coming out. We don't know what even it will be, but we will continue to do the channel. We'll update you guys as much as we can.
Right now we'll show you our Arches and Canyonlands video. It's pretty short, but this will be the last video for a little while.
Arches and Canyonlands was absolutely gorgeous. What I realized in Moab is, I love southern Utah. It's so pretty there. I may have been there as a kid, but I don't remember. So this was really a cool experience going there as an adult. Yes, there were unfortunate circumstances, but hopefully you can see the beauty in it through our video. We did Arches one day and then Canyonlands the next day. So check it out.
Made it to Arches. Haven't seen any arches yet, except way off in the distance.
Underneath Arches National Park lies a salt bed layer, which was deposited some 300 million years ago, when the area was part of an inland sea. When the sea evaporated, it left salt deposits. Some areas collected over 1,000 feet of these deposits. During the next millions of years, the area was filled with debris from deposits from winds, floods, and streams, and oceans that came and went. Over time, this debris compressed into rock. The weight of the rock layer caused the salt bed below to become fluid, allowing it to thrust up and create domes and ridges. After the movement of salt molded the landscape, erosion went to work. On the surface of rock layers and groundwater began to dissolve the underlying salt deposits. Water seeped through the cracks in the weathered rock and ice formed, further expanding the crevices and weakening the rock. Eventually, the dome began to collapse, leaving a maze of vertical, freestanding rock walls known as fins. Wind and water continued to assault these fins until they eventually wore through and pieces began to fall away, creating the amazing arches you see today. Cheers! Crazy. It's like a little chipmunk or something. It's like scaling the side of that. So we're in Moab, Utah. I believe we're around the Canyonlands, and we found this super awesome camp spot on Overlander. It is absolutely gorgeous, breathtaking, and there's this little ledge we're on right now.
It's little.
But the views are like nothing I've ever seen.
That's true. Best sunset I've ever seen, I think.
Wow, that's saying a lot because I feel like you love sunsets.
That's saying a lot. I do like sunsets. Best camp spot ever?
Best camp spot ever.
Everyone's up to see the sunrise this morning.
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome to Canyonlands.
We made it to the Mesa Arch. So if you look along the rocks, there's all these black dots, and they're actually one of the world's oldest living organisms, which is pretty cool. It's crazy. It's just like the camera doesn't do it justice. The magnitude of how big these canyons are wild. And we're in the Islands of the Sky part of Canyonland Park, because it's split up into 4 different places since the park is so big and there's streams separating all of it. So we're in one of the parts.
Rivers separating.
Since the park is so big, there's rivers separating it, so they have split it up into 4 different parks essentially, but it's all the Canyonland Park. Okay.